You know that guy who forces himself to talk to girls every single day, pushes through the fear, does the scary thing, keeps showing up, and still nothing changes. Still anxious, still stiff, still feels like he's dying every time. Most people look at him and think, he just needs more reps. But what if the reps are the problem? There's a piece of advice that gets thrown around a lot in self-help spaces. Just do the scary thing. Face your fears. Take action. And look, that's not wrong, but it's also not the full picture. The missing piece is why so many genuinely brave people stay stuck for years. Here's something most people don't know about fear and trauma. It's not stored in your thoughts. You can think your way to understanding your fear completely. You can know exactly where it came from, exactly why it's irrational, and still feel it just as hard as the day it started. That's not weakness. That's biology. Bessel van der Kolk, the psychiatrist who spent decades studying trauma, showed this clearly. The body keeps the score. Literally, fear, trauma, emotional wounds, they live in your nervous system, in the tension patterns of your muscles, in your breathing, in the way your body braces before you even know it's bracing. And here's the key thing. Your nervous system doesn't speak the language of logic. There are two parts of your brain in play here. The prefrontal cortex, that's the logical brain, the part that reads books and understands things. And the older, deeper brain, sometimes called the reptilian brain, the part that controls your body, your survival responses, your instincts. The reptilian brain developed first. It was there long before logic showed up, and it is where these wounds live. So when some self-help coach says, just reframe it, she's probably more nervous than you, your logical brain nods along. Your nervous system doesn't care. So people hear this and think, okay, fine. Forget thinking. I'll just act. I'll go talk to her. I'll do the scary thing. I'll get the experience my nervous system needs. And that logic is correct, up to a point. This is a real psychological concept. It's called exposure therapy. The idea is that avoidance keeps fear alive. Repeated contact with the feared thing, over time, in the right conditions, teaches the nervous system that the threat isn't real. Your brain slowly learns, I did this, I survived, the catastrophe didn't happen. That's called extinction learning. It works. But notice those three words, in the right conditions. There's a concept called the window of tolerance, developed by a neuroscientist named Daniel Siegel. Here's the idea. Your nervous system has a zone, a range of activation, where learning and healing can actually happen. Too little activation? Nothing changes. You're too comfortable, you're avoiding. Too much activation, you go into full survival mode. Fight, flight, freeze. And here's what's crucial. When you're in survival mode, your brain is not learning that the threat isn't real. It's doing the opposite. It's using your own terror as evidence that the threat is absolutely real. Think about it. You force yourself to walk up to a girl you find intimidating. Heart rate spikes to 160. You can barely hear yourself think. You're white-knuckling through it. You dissociate a little. The whole thing feels like barely surviving. What did your nervous system just record? Not, I can do this. It recorded, this experience feels like dying. The action happened, but the wrong lesson got filed. This is why some people can face their fears over and over and never get better. not because they're not brave enough, because they're doing it outside the window of tolerance, and the nervous system is just accumulating more evidence of danger. Here's where it clicks. The body work, the breath work, the somatic awareness, the regulation practices. People think that stuff is the healing itself. It's not. It's the preparation that makes the healing possible. What it does is expand your window of tolerance. It builds your capacity to feel the fear, stay present in it, and move anyway, without flooding so hard that your brain takes the wrong lesson. Let me give you two people. Same situation, same goal. Person A, no regulation work done. He walks up, heart rate hits 160, brain locks into threat mode. He either bails at the last second or he pushes through in a stiff, disconnected way that confirms the social failure he was afraid of. His nervous system records, threat confirmed. Person B, he's been doing the internal work, not avoiding action, building capacity. He walks up, heart rate hits 130. He notices it. He breathes. He stays present enough to actually be himself. It might still go badly, but his nervous system records, I survived that. I stayed present. The threat was manageable. Same action, completely different neurological outcome. Now, and this is important, none of what I just said is permission to avoid. The action cannot be skipped, ever. You could do breath work every morning for a year, therapy every week, read every book on the nervous system ever written, and still, at some point, you have to walk up and talk to her. Because the nervous system only updates through real experience, not through preparation for experience. And there's a very real trap that smart, self-aware people fall into, using "I'm working on my nervous system" as sophisticated avoidance. People spend years preparing to live their life instead of living it. That is a real thing. Don't let it be you. So what's the right sequence? You start with actions that are slightly outside your comfort zone. Not the most terrifying version of the thing, just the next step. You talk to the cashier. You make eye contact with someone on the street. You say something small to someone at a coffee shop. These aren't timid moves. This is literally how the nervous system learns. You're building evidence, one real experience at a time, that you can survive contact. Your window of tolerance gets a little wider. Then you take the next step from a slightly steadier baseline. You're building the ladder as you climb it, instead of trying to jump to the top and hoping the fall doesn't kill you. The goal at every step isn't to feel no fear. Fear means you're at the edge of growth. That's where you want to be. The goal is to feel the fear and stay present enough to process the experience accurately. That presence, that's what produces the update. So here's the bottom line. Just do the scary thing is not wrong. It's just incomplete. The action matters. It's necessary. But how you're doing it on the inside, the quality of your internal state while you do it, that determines whether you're healing or just accumulating more evidence of danger. Regulated action is the mechanism, not action alone, not preparation alone, both, in the right order, each one making the other actually work.